Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Wednesday, the 18th day of November. Today is National Princess Day. It is Mickey Mouse's birthday. It's National Education Support Professionals Day. And it's National, let's see if I say this right, Vichyssoise Day. You know what that is?
No.
It's a soup made with leeks and onions and potatoes and cream of chicken. So, yeah, probably won't be trying that.
I would try that.
Would you really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to get you some fish. It's also a special day because I've got a guest. I'm very excited to visit with Steve Skipper. Steve Skipper is an amazing artist. He's got like this amazing ability to do very realistic looking paintings, a lot of sports paintings. And he's got a new documentary about his very amazing life. It's called Colors of Character, An Artist's Journey to Redemption. And it talks about being in a gang and some bad choices he's made and the way his life has turned around. And now just an amazing, blessed man. Super excited to chat with Steve Skipper in a bit.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A Harvard study found that the health benefits of taking multivitamins may be in our minds. What? So saying a multivitamin is not nearly as important as we think it is.
Well, I don't think it really breaks down very well in your body. I read something years ago that, in the sewers, like in New York City, multivitamins floating everywhere. So people think that it breaks down and it's in their system, but really
better or something. A new study found that restaurants and gyms and hotels and churches account for 80% of the COVID cases. Amazingly, the giant box stores are not on that list somehow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I don't know why. I've got a link to the story if you want to read it. I don't know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At BetterCreditCards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. I got two stories today. First, Chicago White Sox say the team was aware that Tony La Russa got a DUI in February. That's before they hired him. He was pulled over by the police at 2 o'clock in the morning, ended up getting a DUI, and then he was later hired with the Chicago White Sox. And it came out later, and people were like, oh, why would you have hired him? And they're like, well, we still needed him. That's why. And then another story here. A drunk woman took her pants off on a flight from Florida to Texas and threw a punch at a flight attendant before the plane was diverted to Alabama. The woman was taken off the plane in nothing but a T-shirt and a thong. So I don't know where her pants ended up.
In my defense.
No, it wasn't. The funny thing is, I was actually going to say something, but what I was going to say is I just want to make sure we clear up any confusion. It was not Heidi. So... No, you wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't. I would never take off my pants.
Yeah, the rest of the story, maybe. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by channelsurfertv.com. The Los Angeles Fire Department responded to reports of smoke coming out of a furnace at Denzel Washington's home. Luckily, everyone was okay. So the furnace, for whatever reason, had smoke coming out of it. So, it doesn't even say in here what happened.
I love Denzel. He's a classy dude.
I always thought he seemed like a neat guy.
Yeah.
There has not been a single movie I've watched him in that I didn't like him in.
Right. Me too.
And there was one where his character wasn't even a likable guy. You're like, oh, no, don't. And I still was like, man, he still did such a great job. Star Wars fans are very upset that Baby Yoda ate the eggs of an alien character that had just given birth during the latest episode of The Mandalorian. So
Baby Yoda?
Baby Yoda, yeah.
You said yoga.
Did I?
You did. But that's okay. We all knew what you meant.
Baby Yoda. I think I said, can we roll that tape back? What did I say? Baby yoga. Yep, I did. I didn't really roll tape back, but I'm sure if she says I said it, I probably said it. For any of you that are concerned about that, I don't understand why you're sending letters to them. What do you think they're going to do? Like, we're going to change the episode now, and he's not going to eat those eggs. Like, it's already done. So I don't know what you thought was going to happen, but kudos to you. Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by channelsurfertv.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of TimeForRehab.com. A giant video of, the video is regular size. A video of a giant meteor shooting across the sky in New Jersey. The video has gone viral. So I think I kind of messed that sentence up a lot, but let me do it one more time, maybe correctly this time. A video has gone viral, and the video is of a giant meteor shooting across the sky in New Jersey. Did I get it right that time?
I think so.
Yay. Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla sold $5.5 million in stock on the day the company's COVID vaccine was released. He says there was no insider trading. It was just lucky timing on his part. Mm-hmm. So there you go. And speaking of that, the stock market skyrocketed after Pfizer. This is all from last week, by the way. So for those of you that are like listening to me for your up-to-the-date stock tips, this is not it. Stock market skyrocketed after Pfizer announced their COVID vaccine was 90% effective and should be ready earlier than expected. Meanwhile, Zoom stock fell dramatically with the vaccine news because everybody has been using Zoom and they're like, oh, hey, we're going to be able to go back to work.
I don't know if you heard... I heard yesterday that there is another vaccine as well that's been announced with 95% effective.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ah, that's good. Well, coming up later, we have in our news headlines from somewhere in this world, we got some bad news when it comes to vaccines, so we'll get to that in a bit. But back to this. Cardi B has apologized for offending the Hindu culture in her new Reebok ad. Apparently, she was posing as a Hindu goddess, and people in that culture were very upset. So there you go. And the crazy thing is...
she's just not woke.
No, I thought she was really woke, but apparently not. I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't keep track. So, yeah, I'll move on. I was going to say, of all the things that offend people and of all the things that she has done to offend people, you wouldn't think a shoe commercial would be the thing, but apparently it is. Phil Collins and his on-again, off-again wife are separating again after the kids caught her with another man.
Oh.
So I feel bad for Phil Collins.
How do you have an on-again, off-again wife?
I don't know. Like, they were together, and then they broke up, and then they got together, and then they broke up, and now apparently they were together, but now they've broken up. Does that make sense?
Sure.
All right. Chipotle is opening their first digital-only restaurant where customers will order with an app ahead of time, and they'll pick up their food when they arrive, and that'll be the only way, so you don't order, you don't pay with cash. So this is like potentially the new way things will be done. It'll all be purchased ahead of time and it'll either be delivered to you or you pick it up at a little portal on the side of the building, a window. But yeah, it's kind of an interesting concept. And Chipotle, they just opened the very first one. So I guess the world will be watching to see what happens. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you pack out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We've got a truly inspiring story today that I'm so excited to share. We've got Steve Skipper joining us, and there's a movie that's going to be coming out very shortly this month. It's called Colors of Character, and it's a true story about Mr. Steve Skipper. Sir, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Pretty good. Very, very honored to be with you.
Well, and on here it says, Steve Skipper is an untrained artist who's received unprecedented recognition in the world of sports and civil rights. And I'm looking at the work that you've done, and this is unbelievable. And you're such an amazingly talented person. What an amazing gift you have. And I'm glad that you've had an opportunity to share this with the world, but it was not an easy path to get there, was it?
Oh, by no stretch of the imagination was it easy. Very, very tough getting here, but nobody could do it but God in the way he did it.
You were at one point in a gang in Birmingham, and another point you working in a factory and hurt your hand, and that could have stopped your career, but you kept getting up and trudging forward, and it's just an inspiring story for anybody in pretty much any situation, isn't it?
Definitely. The will to persist and to keep going is something that's tremendous. Never give up. I think that's the bottom line of the story.
And this is a documentary. This movie is going to be such an uplifting thing for people to watch. But when you were going through this, did you ever think that this story would be told on a big screen?
No way. I mean, it's experience after experience, and never thought. I mean, I didn't have enough sense to even dream this far. I mean, it was just experience after experience, keeping your head down and keep going. And the next thing you know, all of the stories are put together, and you come in contact with the people who can put it together in movie form, and nobody could do this for God.
And I've got a link to some of the artwork, which is absolutely unbelievable. But how did you first discover that you had this talent for painting?
Well, in the fourth grade, I mean, there's I think we take it for granted how gifted teachers are. And in the fourth grade, I had a teacher who noticed, I was doodling, drawing and stuff like that on the back of my notebooks and stuff, and she noticed that there was something special about what I was doing. And she went to the principal and told him, we have something special here, and is there any money set aside that we can get some art supplies for this young man? And the principal told her that no, there's no money. So what she did, his least amount as teachers get paid anyway, she went ahead and bought the supplies herself. And she went to my mom. She told my mom that one day he's going to be a great artist. I can recognize something special in what he's doing. And my mom really couldn't see it because of the fact that she had a brother that was very, very talented in art. And his days are coming up in the, like 30s and 40s and stuff like that. It was taboo for African Americans to say that you wanted to be an artist. I mean, the only occupation set aside for African Americans then was anything in labor or something like that. And so when he persisted to go ahead and try to be an artist, he was met with a whole lot of resistance and a whole lot of racial tension and everything. And my mom thought that was going to happen to me, but she didn't realize that God had placed something on the inside of me. It was like a fire that wouldn't go out.
Well, I am so grateful that you trudged forward and decided to do this anyway, because you are a truly gifted individual. And I love the fact that this story is being told, because now you can inspire a whole new generation of people who, I think that the message here is if God has given you a gift, you should use it.
Definitely. When I became a Christian, I realized where it came from. And at the same time, not only where it came from, I fell in love with Jesus Christ. And I knew that I learned that when you use the talent or the gift that God has given you, it glorifies God. It makes him happy. And that was like pouring gasoline on a fire. And one thing we want to inspire people to do, and a lot of people out there, everybody that God created has some kind of gift or some kind of special talent or something like that. And what we want to do, a lot of people have buried those talents under careers. They've buried those talents under jobs and stuff like that. They may be even corporately, in a situation where you succeed in business, but you're not doing what God called you to do. And so what we want to do is provide spiritual shovels for people to dig up those gifts and start to use them like God purposed them to do, and make this world a better place.
Mr. Skipper, thank you so much for taking the time to chat. I hope that this inspires millions of people.
I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me.
Again, our guest today has been Steve Skipper. The movie is called Colors of Character. I've got a link to all of the information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What was that, John?
This ought to liven up the family reunion, or maybe Thanksgiving coming up here in the States here very soon. According to Ancestry.com, 1 in 8 Americans has a felon in their family tree. So 1 in 8.
I have one.
Do you? See?
I do.
I wonder if I do. Probably several. So they're saying maybe chat with the fam and say, if it's not me, maybe it's you. So 1 in 8 Americans has a felon in their family tree. That is today's fun fact. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline Russia. 3 Siberian workers in Russia took the Russian COVID vaccine and have tested positive for COVID. So they took the vaccine, like in the trial, and they're like, okay, now try it. And they're like, nope, still got it. So they're apparently not having the successes that other places are having. So that's not good.
That's
very concerning. So 3 Siberian workers, again, tested for COVID. That is the news headline from somewhere in this world. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. This whole story was almost my moment of duh because, again, who would do this? But it's when I put it on the scale, it leaned more towards weird news. So here we go. A desire to get all of his wishes fulfilled with a magical lamp, like Aladdin had. A doctor got himself in trouble. He says he just got back from India, from London, and he was cheated by 2 men who claimed to be tantrics, also known as sorcerers. They sold him Aladdin Kachirig, or Aladdin's magical lamp, for $250,000.
Oh,
They promised this doctor that it would fulfill all of his wishes without the much-needed hard work to translate them into reality, and that it would make him a billionaire. And instead, it made him a victim because, believe it or not, Heidi,
It wasn't real.
yeah, these guys that he bought the lamp from were just criminals.
That's unfortunate. You just can't trust anybody these days.
They've been arrested, and this doctor is now in the news for spending $250,000 on a busted up lamp. So I'm going to have to reach out to him and see if he wants to buy some radio ads. I'm just kidding. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. This has been today's Weird News.
John and Heidi.
Time now for your moment of duh, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. Medical technology startup company CEO accused of misusing more than $400,000 in company funds on escorts and clubs and personal expenses, gifts to Uber Eats, according to a lawsuit filed by one of the company's stakeholders, Ecover Global, which runs the app to help doctors share messages with patients before and after surgery. Was accepted into a mentoring program by startup nonprofit Tampa Bay Wave last year. The 28-year-old CEO, Raymond Seaver, was seeking investor funding. During a pitch hosted by this Tampa Bay Wave, he told investors the company already raised $700,000, was valued at $35 million. His former best friend and business partner, Brandon Bowen, filed a lawsuit shortly thereafter that he was misappropriating hundreds of thousands of dollars. June of 2019 to June of 2020, hundreds of thousands of dollars went to things that shouldn't have been used, the company funds. $30,000 to 9 different women, like escort women. $12,000 each is what they were getting. $17,000 in ATM withdrawals used to cover liquor and visits to clubs. So none of that stuff is what you're supposed to do. So now he had such a great plan and such a great gig, and it's not probably going to work out so great for him.
That's unfortunate.
That is today's moment of da.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it fake news made up to trick you and amuse me? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Fake news or Florida?
I love how you cover your face.
I don't want you to see. A Key West woman was busted for drunk driving a boat with 3 kids on board. Fake news or Florida?
Florida.
Nah, it's fake news.
Oh, well, that happens everywhere. So
It probably does. No, I don't know why that was, but it was submitted, and I used it. And it probably is for a true story.
it happens everywhere.
Heidi's going to Google it now.
I guarantee you it's
show me
happened.
73 times that happened in the last week. Yeah, look at all these. Smart guy. That was fake news according to this. By the way, if you'd like to submit a fake news or Florida story, you can do that right at the bottom of our page. That is johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. And what a cool story this is. A pet parrot cries, Anton, Anton, and it woke up the owner of the home and saved them from a house fire.
Was the homeowner's name Anton?
Let's find out. I
or
bet
was he
is.
just yelling Anton just because?
Well, haven't gotten that far yet. This happened in Brisbane, or as I used to say, Brisbane, and then I was told I was saying it wrong. He survived a late-night house fire when his parrot sounded the alarm before the smoke detectors even kicked in. The house was engulfed in flames when the crew arrived at 2 a.m. Anton,
There you go, was his name.
said he was lucky to escape injury when his parrot, Eric, wait a minute, he named his parrot Eric?
I love that
That's a
name.
cool name, I guess. He said he was just squawking, Anton, Anton. And that's when the gentleman was sleeping. He woke up and heard all kinds of noise. And his parrot was alerting him that the building was on fire. The smoke detectors had not gone off yet. So he says, I'm still in shock, but I'm fine. Everything's all right. So
Did he
long as-
save Eric?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a photo of him standing on the street with fire trucks in the background, and it's just him, and Eric's like on his wrist. He's holding his arm out, and Eric's hanging out with him.
Ah.
He's like, hey, I'm awake, and
Well, that's kind of cool.
I got my cell phone, and I got my parrot, and everything
I like
else.
that. I
everything
like that
else
story.
Everything else is currently on fire, so that's not so great. But it's pretty cool. He said, I'm in shock, but I am fine. Everything's all right as long as I have myself and the bird. So that's all he cared about. Like, everything else, all just stuff. I got me, I got Eric, and we're good. So there you go. Cool story. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.